Hello and greetings. Looks like I had a little trouble getting on here, so let's see. Yes, we're consenting to being live streamed. How's everybody doing? Tax season finally ended back in May, and then I took a well-deserved vacation and came back, and I have more work to do than ever. Yay! So I'm sorry I'm watching myself talk. It's there's a little bit of audio drag, but I'll just go ahead and keep talking like everything's normal. So first of all, I want to get my question and answer thingy here. Says it's live. If I hit comment, what happens? Okay. Wait for the comments to open. Okay. All right. Maybe this isn't going to work well this week. Let's see. 2 hours ago. Okay, I'm looking for the comments so that people can make comments to me, ask me questions, and I'm sorry, I guess I'm kind of fumbling with that a little bit. So let's see, what we got going on here? That's probably not gonna, okay. So I guess I don't really have a topic, except that I had mentioned when I did the invite that tax season never really ends, okay? There's a reason for that. And the reason is simply this: the Internal Revenue Service considers their service a pay-as-you-go. What they mean by that is they want you to pay income tax throughout the year, not just April 15th or whatever day it ends up falling on because of COVID. They'd like to get paid all year. And if you're a wage earner, simple enough, every single time you get a paycheck, the IRS is getting their cut. The employer basically holds that and then turns around and files a Form 941, and they send it all off to something called the EFTPS, Electronic Funds Transfer Payment System. I think that stands for. And file a 941, and that's how your Social Security and your Medicare and all your withholding gets paid. So you basically don't have to think about it. It's just you work, you get what's known as a net wage. The rest of the stuff gets paid. You don't have to think about it. When you file taxes, you're trying to get yourself a refund. Hopefully not too big, because if you have a multi-$1,000 refund, that means Uncle Sam was hanging on to your money all year instead of you. And that's a situation I don't like. So sorry, but not enjoying the hair day. I'm going to fix this a little bit. Okay. So pay as you go for a wage earner is simple. And for an entrepreneur, I think it's a little bit simple too. But the thing of it is, if you're working very hard 5 days a week, over 8 hours a day, and your thing isn't taxes or money or books or numbers in particular, maybe it's not so simple. And everybody specializes. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, let me see. Notification. Hang on a second. I can't get the comments open. Okay, comments. Ah, here we go. All right, so in any event, if you guys do want to comment with a question, I think I can see it now. So go ahead and do that. So because of pay as you go, that means that it's always tax season. Basically, we are paying taxes all year. Just we entrepreneurs pay 4 times a year. They think they're treating us like adults, but they're really not, because they punish you if you don't pay enough. But those 4 dates are April 15th, June 15th, 2 months later, then September 15th and January 15th, which is 4 months later. So for myself and my fellow entrepreneurs, that ongoing payment is basically tied to how much money you're making. And that's where it kind of becomes an art form. You know, it's almost like a rhythm to it, like a music behind it. If you make very little money in the first part of the year, and I've got people on my own roster that work outdoors, doing things like construction or pouring concrete, that sort of thing. And in those cases, you're not making hardly any money January through March. Is there a reason to make an estimated payment? Well, the IRS would like you to figure out what you're going to owe for the whole year, divide that by 4, and make 4 quarterly payments. They think that that's the way to do that. And thing is, it doesn't work so well for people that have like no income until like beginning or middle of April. So my take on that is that your income is tied to the time period in which you earn it. And if you have less than a measurable or a relative portion of $1,000 in tax, like say $250 of tax that you would owe between January and March, I wouldn't make a payment and just do a good payment for the second half for June 15th. And if you're kind of goofing off and you haven't done any of that yet, then you still have September 15th and January 15th to make that up. So January 15th is kind of your golden chance to make a payment and avoid underpayment penalties at the last minute to the best of your ability. If you've been making a bunch of money all year and decide January 15th, oh, I better make a payment, there are underpayment penalties involved for having underpaid the other times in the year. But the thing is, if you at least make a good sufficient payment in January, you can dramatically reduce or in some cases even eliminate that underpayment penalty when you file. So what does all this fun, nerdy talk about taxes mean to you and me? Well, basically what we're trying to say here is this. If you plan throughout the year by making some kind of estimated payment in each of the 4 deadlines, or at least the ones that you remember once you've thought about it, like it's the middle of the year now, July 4th has come and gone. So basically we're in the second half, and I'll get back on that in a second. But if you haven't made any estimated tax payments yet, you can make a late one in July for June, but it might be equally effective to ensure that you're making a very good payment in September. What I would do is just pull up a profit and loss statement for January through August. And since that's exactly 8 months, then guess what? You can just multiply all of your numbers by 1.5, and then that will give you an estimate of how much income you're going to have all year, and you can estimate your tax. So then I would pay, excuse me, 3/4 of that for September 15th, because basically that's the third quarter estimated payment. And then if you, like many businesses, have a really good time in November or December, and you make a little bit more money, then you've already made a good sufficient payment back in September. Add to that, and hopefully you kind of get yourself on track. So I hope that that is helpful. Basically, estimated payments are the entrepreneur's version of withholding. And sorry, I heard a noise. And the other thing I want to talk about just real quick is it's the second half of the year, 2021. This is the year after the bad COVID year. Masks are starting to come off all over the place. People that have not had both vaccines are running around maskless, and that's a little disturbing. But the thing is, nobody's required to wear any kind of a card or get a tattoo or anything. So we just have to basically take it on faith that a majority of people are vaccinated, and things are getting a little bit back to normal. And one of the things that I would say, if you're at risk either because you're older or you've had like a serious some kind of respiratory illness in the past, and I would encourage you to wear a mask if you feel like it might be a good idea. There's no shame in it. We've certainly seen enough masked people in the last 16 months. So I would continue to do it. Personally, I've never been healthier, simply because I've been so germophobic the last year and a half. So In some situations where I know I'm going to be close to a lot of people indoors, I'll keep wearing the neck gaiter, and I'll go ahead and I'll pull it up over my nose because why not? It's okay. I actually went to a bank the other day and I had to go into the branch, and the guy told me to pull it down for the cameras. So I didn't have any weapons, but you know how it goes at banks. Yeah, there's a lot of security issues. So it was all good. I just thought it was funny. I actually walked into a bank masked. Who would have thought you could do something like that 2 years ago, right? So I'm just kind of chitter chattering, trying to make a point. The second half of 2021 has begun, and it is occurring as we speak. It's the 7th of July, so the seventh day of the second half of this year, and I have a lot of hopefulness for the way this remainder of the year is going to go. For myself, certainly, but also for my clients and for everybody out there that might be listening to this either live or on recording later. By the way, let me see if I do have any comments. Let's see. I'm still trying to find, okay, here we go. Is it this? Maybe it's this one. Okay. So there's my face. I can't see the comments. Let me type a comment. Hello there, everybody, with an extra W in it. Okay, well, I can see it, so. Does anybody have any questions? I'm absolutely sure it doesn't really show me. On a phone, if somebody drops in to a live, it will actually show when people drop in to watch you, but I'd never figured out how to do that in a Zoom Facebook Live on my computer. So I'm actually not sure if anybody is viewing this. If you're viewing this, can you say, just type a letter Y in and hit enter, and I'll wait for a few seconds. Let me get a drink of water. Okay. There's a pretty strong possibility nobody's actually viewing this live. That's fine. What I'm going to do at this point is I will go ahead and sign off for now. If you're watching this and recording, you can still comment on it if you do have a question about anything. And I am going to return. I was a few minutes late today, trying to get used to the new scenario, but 4 o'clock Mountain Time is 3 o'clock Pacific and 6 o'clock Eastern. So I will be back next Wednesday. We're going to do this as a regular thing, and I'm also going to figure out an agenda, some fun stuff to talk about. So next Wednesday is July 14th, and I will see you all then. Until then, have an amazing and prosperous day. Bye for now. Take care.